Welcome back to video 2. So in this video we are going to now start using our data. We want to be able to sort our data so we know which kid is doing well, which kid we need to actually focus on and give that little bit of extra support to. We're also going to look at stylizing just to make it a little bit easier to read. So adding a bit of color and making it look like a proper table. And then finally we're actually going to build a table function and we'll find that it'll just bring a lot of functionality, and it is just a faster way to, I suppose, start working with the data than if you were to manually sort and add style yourself. But sometimes, I know for me, I don't use the build a table function a lot just because I do want to get that formatting exactly how I want it rather than picking one of their preset templates. So let's just go ahead and start having a look at, well, firstly making this just look a little bit pretty. So this column A, where we added the 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't really need that. That was just kind of learn how to do the skip counting in Excel. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this column here. So I come up to the column tab here, I right click on it and I come down to delete, and it is gone. And we're back to just our original data here. So now I want to go back to home because home is where I have my font features, my color features, my alignment features. Here's where I have a lot of the stuff that I need to make it just simply look pretty. So I'm going to start with the title and I'm going to bold it and I'm going to just make it a little bit bigger so it stands out. Then I'm going to come down to my little headings here. And we can see that they're left justified. Well, I want them in the middle. So I'm going to click here to center it horizontally, but I'm going to click here to center them vertically as well. Now, while you didn't see much change here, you can actually see it if I make it bigger. You can see that they're centered vertically, and I can actually change that. But I'm just going to pop it back to vertical, bring it back up, maybe have them a little bit bigger. And I'm going to select all three of them and stretch them out just a little bit. And you can see when I've got all three selected, I can stretch everything in one go. There we go. That's starting to look a little bit neater. I'm going to select all three and I'm going to bold them and I'm going to change their font. And my favorite font, Century Gothic. And I might change that one to Century Gothic as well, for no other reason, but I like this font. There we go. I think that just looks a little bit more formal. So now what we need to do is we need to put our borders around this to make this look like a table that isn't just kind of joined to everything else that's around. So I'm going to click on the top here, and you can see it's selected all three rows, and just simply drag down. Now I've got the whole table selected. I can come up to my borders button here, and if I click on that, the picture, it does what the picture says, and the picture says to put a border at the bottom. So if I click away, there it is there. But I want to cover everything in borders. So I'm going to use the little arrow next to it. That's what the arrow means. It means there's a menu there. And I'm going to come down to all borders. So you've got lots of different options here to play with, but it's the all borders I want. It'll do everything on the outside and all the lines on the inside as well. And now when I click away, you can see it's looking quite nice. But I want to do one more thing as well. I like putting a thick border around the outside to define that that is the edges of that particular table. So I'm going to come here, right click and come down to thick outside border. And there we go. And that stands out really well. If you want to as well, let's say you wanted to have a thick border here in the middle or along the top one here. Actually, let's do the top one here. I'm just going to click on that one cell. And if I come up to thick border, it'll just simply put a thick border around the edge of whatever I've highlighted, which in this case is just that cell. And there we go. And it's got a thick border as well. Actually, I might do one there as well, just to make it stand out, just so the data is quite separate to everything else. Now, next thing we need to do is color. So color, Same thing again, just right next to it here, we've got our fill color. If I click on that, the fill color is set to yellow and it'll make it yellow. I really don't like that color, so I'm going to click on the drop down and I'm going to pick a color here. Quite often I find that I'll go with a theme. So I'll start with the blue and I might go that blue there. That kind of stands out nicely. And then I'll select these ones. Actually, what I'll do is I'll select that and I'll select the next one down and the next one down, and that one I'm going to do is the light blue. So now it's really clear, the columns, when you're looking at them. And then I'm going to come down, select here, and now I'm going to choose a different color because now I'm inputting data. So I'm going to go to the orange, and I think I'm going to use that one. And this one wants to be darker, so now I've already got the color selected. I can just click on the color itself without having to bring up that menu again. And then this one here. And I'm going to use the lighter one there. And that stands out really nicely. It's really easy to see what's in what column. Now, the last thing I want to do is, again, I'm not really happy that this is left justified and all these numbers are right justified. I just simply want everything in the middle. So I'm going to click and select everything. And I'm going to come up to align, and I'm simply just going to align the center. And just in case they ever grow in size, I'm just going to align vertically as well. And that's looking a lot better. Sometimes if I've got a huge amount of data, rather than having the columns different colors, I'll actually make the rows different colors. And you might prefer this. So I'm just going to go through and make everything right now one color. And you can see straight away that's a bit harder to read. So I'm going to come and select a row, and I'm just going to select that slightly darker orangey color there. And then I'm just going to do it here as well. And now it's really easy. If you do have hundreds of kids, it's really easy to drag that right out. Now, I want to actually duplicate that multiple times. Let's say I want to add in some more kids. Well, I can simply select the ones that I've got. And again, I can just use my skip counting tool here, and I can drag it out to as big as I want. And you can see it's taken the formatting with it. And then I'll just come through and delete those. Now it has, in this case, because we've got the bottom line there, it has taken that with it. So maybe what I need to do is just select all of that. Actually, I'll just select it one at a time, and I'll get rid of the border, and I'll replace it back with just that one. And you can see it's messed that one up there too, so I'd need to go back and do that. Sometimes with doing the formatting yourself, you do need to just do those little final touches just to make sure it all looks good. But I'm going to go back and just undo all that and take it back to where I was. So undo up the top left here, or if you use the keyboard, Control Z. You can see it there, it says Control Z underneath. So I'm going to press Control Z, and I'm going to go back to there. Now we've got our data there, and that data is quite useful. But now we want to sort our data. So I want to know, firstly, who is doing really well with addition, and put them in order of who's doing well at the top and who's struggling at the bottom. So I'm going to select everything here. Now, even though I'm working with addition, if I don't select subtraction, subtraction won't sort, and then if Anna moves, the 3 won't come with her. So we always need to select the entire table. So I've selected the entire table, and if you notice I've left out the names, we don't need to worry about that. And then I'm going to come up to the Data tab. If I click on the Data tab, over here in the middle we have Sort. Straight away we've got some shortcut ones, and these will sort by highest and lowest, but I want to have a little bit more control of that. So I'm going to click on Sort, and now it gives me some options. So what do I want to sort by? If I click Sort By, do I want to sort them in alphabetical order? Do I want to sort by their addition scores? do I want to sort by their subtraction scores? So, well, I want to sort by their addition scores. And straight away you can see it says smallest to largest. Or do I want to go largest to smallest? Or I could come up with my own way of sorting. Well, I just want to go smallest to largest. Actually, no, it was the other way around, largest to smallest. Click OK, and there we go. So now you can see straight away it's sorted it. Anna's at the top, then Chris, then Peter, then Sarah. And you can see it has taken the formatting with it. But that's okay. At the end of the day, we can still see the data there. And then again, if I want to sort again, I just highlight, click on sort, and I do the same thing again. Subtraction. How do I want to sort? In this case, smallest to largest. And there we go. It's flicked it around, and we can see smallest to largest on subtraction. Now, that works really well, and that's, to be honest, the way I would do it 99% of the time. But sometimes I'm just in a little bit of a rush, and sometimes I just want to use the preset tools that are already there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, well, this actually, now I can leave that how it is. I'm going to come back to home, and I'm going to select everything here but my title. So this time I have the names of each column. And now what I want to do is I want to build a table. And the reason why I want to build a table is the table comes with certain functionality. It comes with all my sort features inbuilt. It actually comes with styling already inbuilt as well. So you'll actually see the style will change straight away. So if you don't want to spend the time going through and actually building all that style and coloring it yourself, you just want to select a set of data and just be able to start using it, this is the tool. So here under Home, under Format as Table, I'm going to click, it's always a drop-down menu, and you can see my styles straight away. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to pick, quite often, I don't know why, I just find myself using this one, the blue table, and I click, and it asks me what the table, the coordinates of the table, and it's just telling me that it's the area I've selected, and I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And straight away it's formatted it. Oh, it's actually kept my coloring. How naughty. Okay, let's just go through and make all of that white again. Nah, that's okay. But what it's done, if it was white, it would have actually changed the coloring to the formatting we had there. I wonder, I haven't tried this before, but let's give it a go. Let's change that back to white, and let's just do it again. Nah, still keeping it white. That's okay. And I'll just undo that, pressing Control Z. So now, what it's done is it's giving me these little drop downs here. And now I don't need to select an amount of data. Now if I just come to subtraction, I can click on subtraction, and I can actually start doing things with it. Filter by color, filter by number, but here's my sort options right here. So I'm just going to come through and go smallest to largest, and it does it straight away for me. So formatting a table makes it really, really easy to do it that way. What I might quickly do is just copy that out, and I do want to show you it with the right coloring. So it's a good chance to show you a new feature here under paste. The way I copied it then was Control C, but you just come up and click copy here. I'm going to move over to this cell here and I'm going to paste it. Now if I click paste, it's just going to paste it identically, but all I want is the data. So again, this little arrow means there's a menu. So I click down and now it gives me a whole bunch of different ways I can paste. And the one I want is just the numbers. And there you can see it gets rid of all formatting, takes me back to just the numbers. I'll do that, might make that one just a little bit bigger. And now when I click on formatting, you can see, there we go, it's formatted it as I was expecting. And you can just sort by name, by addition, by subtraction. So nice and easy to be able to do it like that. Okay, so that's building a table, looking at how to actually build your own custom table, coloring and formatting you want. and just simply using the pre-built ones. Hopefully that's giving you an idea of what Excel can really do to make life simple for you. In the next video clip, we're going to start looking at conditional formatting and formatting data. See you in the next clip.